AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Pretty Little Liars After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Pretty Little Liars After Show.
Yes, it is. What's up, everybody? Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another fabulous after show for Pretty Little Liars. I'm your puppet, and there were lots and lots of secrets tonight. I am your host, Kellie, and hanging out with me, I'm Stephanie. Hi, everybody. And we have got to start this out. We're season 3, episode 23. So it's winding down.
Next week is season finale, which is
it's nuts.
Crazy to me.
So it's winding down, but watching this episode was so gratifying to me because I don't know if you guys remember, but a long time ago, I had predicted that Spencer was going to be part of the A-team, and I got so many hate comments for it.
I actually remember that, and you proved tonight that you know your stuff about Pretty Little Liars. I'm not 100% convinced that she's doing it maliciously or she's turning evil. I think she's more looking for answers. Well, I think I've talked about, and you've definitely talked about in the past, that one of these girls was going to try to get on the inside of this. And I don't know exactly if she's doing it for the wrong reasons, that she's essentially taking Toby's spot, or if she's doing it so that she understands what's going on and she can protect her friends, because we saw tonight that they need a lot of protecting.
Right, but we also saw that she was probably one of the ones that they needed protection from. I mean, Aria could have gotten in a lot of trouble with Malcolm if she didn't find Malcolm, with Malcolm not being around. Now, we don't know for sure that Spencer was the one, but, at the end of the episode, that's the thing that we see. We see the black hoodie and the tickets to the puppet show.
So creepy. I was so creeped out at that moment. I can't even tell you. Just as like a person watching it, we just finished the episode.
Literally like 2 minutes ago.
Just like terrified and like, I don't know, Pretty Little Liars this season hasn't gotten to me on that level very much, but when you get into the like child abduction, I feel like that's a different level, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. But Spencer, being involved in all of this, I just think, I didn't know which girl it was going to be. I don't think you obviously knew Spencer, but I don't think I ever predicted that. But one of these girls we knew was eventually going to.
Well, I think this is the perfect way. Now, whether it is because she is kind of going crazy and this is all too much to handle, and as, Hanna or one of them said, maybe it was Aria in the last episode, that with everything going on, one of them was bound to snap. And I think that partly has something to do with it. We know she's not taking her meds. She's stuffing them in the pillow. So we don't know if she is doing this coherently or kind of what's going on. She also is not sleeping. She hasn't slept in 3 days.
Yeah.
And she's up all night. She found a way to get out of Radley. So she can come and go as she pleases now with Mona's map.
Yes.
That she found, that Eddie gave her.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue unto itself with her, is that I feel like I don't know now whether Eddie or Wren is the good or the bad guy. I feel like it's now all shades, I hate to say the shades of gray, but, it's definitely, for a long time I thought Eddie, since Eddie has been introduced, I thought he was the quote-unquote bad, and Wren was more good? I don't know.
Well, that's funny because I thought the exact opposite.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw Wren's attitude toward Eddie, that's when I figured, okay, something's a little shady going on. He doesn't want Eddie talking to her. What doesn't he want her to know?
Okay, so you always thought that Eddie was the good guy then?
Yes.
Okay, see, I thought Eddie had something shady going on, like that he was sharing too much and it was just a little, like, too friendly with the patient. Mm-hmm. And Wren, I guess you can say the same thing, but I always thought Wren, like, had good intentions.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always thought there was something a little bit off about him and just everything that he always pops up at these weird instances. He, because he has access inside the hospital, that in itself made me suspicious a while ago. Mm-hmm. Just because somebody's getting them in and out and badges and access and all of that, which we find out that Wren was one of the ones that had an issue letting people in that weren't supposed to be, badge issues, and almost got suspended from work because of it. Now, of course, he's going to claim it was, he was doing it for the right reasons and he's not the bad guy, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a judge for yourself. What do you think?
Yeah, it's exactly as I said, shades of that gray. Like, you don't know whether these characters are good or bad, and I hope that next season we see more of that and that we are able to figure out who's good versus bad, and because now it's all kind of confused, which is the Pretty Little Liars way, obviously.
Yeah, and Spencer's really torn up about all of this. I mean, seeing what she believes to be Toby's body has really done a number on her, to the point where she's seeing Allison.
Yeah.
And she's having conversations with her and dancing with her and having these full-on hallucinations of that.
I mean, just to go back to the fact that I feel like anyone, whether you've realized that your boyfriend was not good and all these things, you would still lose it to some capacity, but she's taking it to another level, probably because she's had all this trauma of Allison dying, and she's had all these girls have had a lot of death.
Yeah, they're surrounded by it.
Exactly.
And bodies popping up every 5 minutes.
I mean, when you are making multiple visits to the morgue, like, you know that you're in a bad place.
Yeah, something is not quite right.
Right, but especially as high school. But
yeah,
I totally agree with you. When you're hallucinating Allison, and that was kind of an interesting little tidbit of Allison she had all these, I mean, we knew that she had secrets, but she was telling Emily's mom, like, to keep them from her parents as well. She had the bloody lip.
Yeah, which is something new that we found out with Spencer's mom. Yeah. So now, the title of the episode and the song playing when Allison and Spencer are dancing, "I'm Your Puppet." I mean, it's such a fitting thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what do you think? Do you think that everything that's going on and Mona getting in her ear, just because Mona was an ex-patient, apparently she can come and go in Radley as she pleases, even under the 72-hour surveillance when nobody can visit?
That was really kind of strange to me. Because I assumed that once you leave a mental hospital that you would want to not go back, but
or you wouldn't be allowed to come and go freely, I wouldn't think.
No, I mean, rules be rules. I would say that would be an accurate statement, that you couldn't go and come back and all of that, but also just wouldn't you want to be like, I'm done with that chapter of my life now? I don't know.
Well, in a normal situation, yes, but obviously we're not dealing with any types of normal situations
right,
at
Pretty
all.
Little Liars, I shouldn't compare it to normal life is really what you mean.
Pretty much. Well, and all of the scenes with the puppets that we saw, Malcolm goes to a puppet show, there's the song, and there is the red coat pulling the strings, or maybe there's someone else.
Yeah.
And I think with the struggle between Mona and Spencer is maybe half of it is Spencer's anger, where she just wants to do these things and figure out what is going on and what drives them to do what they're doing. And the other half, she doesn't want to hurt her friends. She wants answers and all of that. And I think she's having an internal struggle.
I couldn't agree more. What I want for her is to, get out of Radley. One, I think this whole idea that her mom comes and she doesn't want to leave and she's stuck in this universe that Mona has been such a part of, like, the healthiest thing for her to do is to get out of that environment. But she's never going to, because she knows that she's staying in Mona's room. It's clues. I would imagine the number of clues she's getting, we saw with the game tonight. You couldn't get that if you're, once again, that outsider. She's very much on the inside right now.
Well, even in the last episode with her just hallucinating all of her friends sitting there and her saying out loud, "You don't know me anymore, and you can't trust me, basically. You can't count on me." I mean, I think it's all leading up to what we're going to see in the next episode with her joining the A-Team.
That's going to be the craziest episode, I think, for all Pretty Little Liars fans.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, when you have one of those 4 girls, and that's going to be a break in their friendship, it's just going to change, I feel like, the entire show. I'm excited for it, but I think it's going to be really interesting.
Well, I think it's going to be pretty scary because Spencer is so smart, and she's a great detective, and she really knows how to find things, and she's the one that they all counted on for those particular things. So to have her on the other side, I think is a little scary.
Yeah, I mean, she oftentimes, I know we talked about it on the show before, she seemed like the strongest link of that group in a lot of ways. She was the one who put the puzzle pieces together, and if you have her, she knows all their secrets, and then to move her to the A team, if she starts going against them, which we kind of saw tonight with Aria and Malcolm, it's gonna be a game changer.
Oh, absolutely.
Crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that my prediction came true. Whether it be for real or even for her just to try to infiltrate, it's still kind of funny.
Do you have a secret passageway to the Pretty Little Liars right now?
No, I just knew she was. Well, because remember we had talked about she was always popping up. You know, when Allison's body went missing, you know, she's the first one up. She just was always the first one when something goes bad. And that was why I started, you know, kind of thinking that in the first place.
I mean, props to you. I think we can all say it. I feel like that should be the iTunes comment right now, is that props to Kellie.
Everybody's going to say, liar, you didn't say that. But I remember it was funny because everybody was so mad at me. How dare you? Spencer would never go against her friends. And maybe she's not. Yeah. And, you know, we still don't know that she's full 100% on the A team. And I think it's kind of a 50-50 split right now because of how angry she is with everything that's gone on, and she really truly wants answers, and she needs to know if Toby's really dead.
I completely agree with you, and we saw at the end of that episode that tale of allegedly I mean, you have to assume the tattoo. We haven't seen the face yet. That's what I'm waiting for. Once we see the face, we'll know. But I hope that happens next week.
Well, I mean, if the body's as banged up as Emily's mom says it is, he may not be recognizable that way.
That's true too.
You know, that's even more scary. What did they do to him?
That's what I kept thinking about, is that we need a flashback of that night, and because there's so many things that are missing. How did Spencer? It's just, there's a lot of things that I want to know more about, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Where they found her purse next to the shallow grave, so it was all there where she said, and they're going through missing person cases because they can't identify the body. And
which made me think, though, that maybe Spencer's not as crazy as we think she is, because if she's able to truly identify if it is in fact Toby, and she knows where it happened and all these things, that's not necessarily crazy. That's, you know, she's...
No, I don't think she's full on crazy. I think she's getting crazier by the minute, the more that she's surrounded by all of those things and all of these Mona clues and all of that. I mean, when she follows the map, she finds a way out. She finds Mona's hidden stash of souvenirs and badges and her nurse's hat and how she would get in and out. And she finds a visitor's badge from CeCe. And that's how we find out that CeCe was going to visit Mona.
Yeah, that was not a shocking thing to me at all. Like, they wanted it, I felt like, to be a little shocking when they were like the reveal of CeCe. And I was just like,
well, I mean, everybody's kind of thinking that CeCe's the redcoat, if it, you know. Yeah. So I wonder, but do you believe the story that Allison got her kicked out of school and this is her retaliation?
No. I simply, I just want, it's interesting because CeCe, everyone is thinking that she's the one in the red coat, but a friend of mine actually texted me this week and was like, what happens if it's Hanna? And then with tonight, you have, because she's the only blonde in the group, and I was just like, that is not a thing I would ever have thought of. I mean, because...
Right, but we saw from tonight, Hannah's inside the morgue, they're looking at the bodies, and Aria sees the red coat. So
exactly.
It couldn't
be, 100%.
No. A lot of people are still talking about it could possibly be Ali's twin, like from the books.
That's a good point as well.
Or it's CeCe. Or it's a new character we don't even know about. I mean... that could be the only other thing.
I hope that that's not the case, because that's just not fun. Like, if we're all guessing at it, like, that's not a very fun way to end this.
No, and from what we read in the Entertainment Weekly article a couple weeks ago, that it's going to be someone that we thought it was when we eventually do find out who
Absolutely.
it is.
My money's on Allie's twin.
Yeah?
Allison's twin.
I don't know. In the flashback, we see Allie with a bloody lip, and when Spencer sees her in the hallucination, we see that she was fighting with a woman. So a girl cut her lip and hit her, apparently.
Yes.
So I always got the feeling like she was a little bit afraid of CeCe in all the flashbacks that we see. I don't think she had the upper hand in that situation. She was trying too hard to be like CeCe. So that totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Either it being CeCe or Melissa. Well, now now it comes full circle that Melissa is involved.
That's true too. Melissa in a blonde wig, I guess, would be another possibility.
Could be, to throw people. I mean, it's not the first time she's faked something, about her body. She faked being pregnant.
I was just about to say pregnancy.
It's not that far.
So that's another good option. Now you're just opening. I don't have my money on anything anymore. I'm like, predictions out the door here.
I know. There's so many crazy things going on. But the revelation of Melissa telling CeCe, letting CeCe know that Mona was in Radley for her to go and try to save her, as Wren puts it.
Yeah.
That just brings it all back around, because then it goes in line with Aria's dad's memory of Melissa being outside when he left Allison.
That's right.
So all of these things just brings them all back. All the people that were suspected in the first place are probably all the right key people.
It's so true. Yeah. I mean, they do a good job of planting those little seeds, and if you go back and watch the episodes, it all eventually, there's all these little strings and it all fits together.
Now it's all starting to make sense. Yeah. All right, well, let's take a break from that for a second, and let's move on to Caleb and his dad.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this was one of those storylines where I wanted Hanna. She obviously tonight she tried to tell Caleb that his dad was not being honest with the church, essentially. Yeah.
Well, with her reasoning behind that is that $5 bill with the dice on it. Right. That's what she's going off of, is that she put that money in the donation box. All of a sudden, he's paying for pizza with the same money.
Yeah, but she doesn't know anything about this bell scenario. No. That Aria's mom comes to Hanna and says, like, well, the same bell didn't come back. A much cheaper bell came.
$8,000 cheaper. So that's a significant difference.
Absolutely. Yeah, it came back to the church, and, we are suspecting that Caleb's dad is the one who's behind it.
And then he wants to take them out to dinner. She's very hesitant about that because she kind of feels that he's a thief. So all of a sudden he's spending this money, and it's making him look more guilty to them, when in reality now he has a paycheck.
Yeah.
So now he has money that he can spend, and he's choosing to spend it on them. So I was very torn in that situation, because you want him to be the good guy, but then with Pretty Little Liars, we meet more bad guys than we do good guys. So
Absolutely.
It's kind of hard to tell.
I did appreciate the fact that Caleb picked up on the fact that Hanna was quiet at dinner and then quiet with him. I was like, he continually seems like, I hate to say it because next week he'll turn bad on me, but the good guy.
I know.
Like, he really is there for Hanna, and that's nice. And she's trying to be there for him, and she eventually tells him that, about this money that his father used to pay for the pizza. But it's a much bigger story, because then, he thinks that his dad also was involved with this bell, and and what it turns out to be, obviously, is that A
is involved.
Yeah.
And set him up. And how do you come back from that? You basically just
threw your boyfriend's dad under the bus.
Absolutely. And granted, it's not her fault. All the evidence points to that. It's easy to always blame somebody that has a shady past, and it's easy to jump to conclusions and all of that. And I would hope that he wouldn't be one to hold a grudge, especially considering his situation, and would be understanding of that. But, it's hard.
See, my concern
and they're kids.
Wasn't so much for Caleb's father, I think he seems like a relatively forgiving guy, and he knows that, you know, people have difficulties and what have you. So I think that he might be able to forgive Hanna, but I don't know if Caleb ever could. That seemed to be the bigger.
That's going to be tough.
Breach of trust.
Right. That's going to be tough because he reads over her shoulder the text from A.
Yeah.
It's not that she tells him. He reads it.
Yeah.
And he had been trying to get in the middle of that and kind of save her from all of this, and now it's affecting him, and it's just getting worse. And I think that definitely is going to cause more conflict between them.
I agree with you. I think that a lot of the relationships as we move into the next season are kind of going into a rocky place. That's what it seems like. Nobody's in a happy relationship at this point.
No, absolutely not. And well, what do we think too about Hannah's mom and Officer Wilden? We know he wants his car back. The car's at the bottom of the lake.
That's not happening anytime soon.
No, unless A fished it out. But
That's
as
all
far as we know right now, it's still at the bottom of the lake.
Right.
And, you know, he pops up out of the blue. He's all fine. He was gone fishing. And now he's back.
Yeah.
And what he wants is that car. Why does he want that car? What is in the car? Does he want the video to try to salvage the video?
I don't know. I mean, that would be the most obvious choice is the video, but you don't know what else is in that car.
Right.
I mean, because he's taken photos. Like, there was a photo in the police station, if you recall, and it was suddenly missing. So what else is in that car? And also, what has survived being underwater?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and he doesn't know it's underwater. So it could be evidence. It could be anything.
I mean, he is another one who's on the inside.
Yes.
We're pretty convinced at this point that he knows way more than what he's showing.
I don't know if I feel that he's on the A team.
Oh, I don't think he's on the A team, but he's
one of the inside players for sure. He's one of the original, like, that started this whole thing.
Yeah, because those beach photos, what can you say about them? You're just like, okay, buddy, like, you're a police officer and hanging out.
And he's always so creepy. There's always something so sketchy about him.
Yeah, and he's desperate for information as well. In the same way that, not saying he's on the A team, but Spencer, who is always desperate for information, in a lot of ways, he's very similar to that.
Absolutely. He wants his answers. He doesn't quit, and he's going to pop up every second to make you uncomfortable, so he gets them. So that I don't know. I wonder how long he's going to last, what's going to happen, and how much more trouble he's going to cause.
I think lots.
Yeah.
I don't think that his storyline, they've shut that door at all.
No,
I mean,
no.
They have not found the car. I wonder if the A team has taken the car. There's so many ways it could go. And also, just what happened, I think we're going to get more flashbacks about the beach as well.
I hope so. I want to see more of what went down before this all started, when the A messages started coming for Allison.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not something as petty as a prank that CeCe gets kicked out of school. I mean, not that that's necessarily petty, but, you know, to murder somebody or a group of people over that, I don't think that that's that bad. So it has to be something else.
No, I mean, there has to be, like, a smoking gun, as they say. I mean, and getting kicked out of school, as traumatizing and maybe embarrassing as that would be, I don't think that that's enough to
kind of parlay into all of this.
I'm not sure there's anything that's justifying this, but that definitely doesn't.
No. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah. But we have been reading your comments, guys, so thank you so much for those. And I want to remind you again, please go to YouTube and iTunes, download the podcast, rate and comment, and let us know what you think about the episodes and your thoughts on who A could be and the A team and all of that. And I hear you. I get it. You're not Aria and Ezra fans, and we spend too much time talking about them, so we're going to cut it back today.
Exactly. And we hear you, and
It's Stephanie's favorite couple. I'm sorry.
I know. I was like, I feel really bad. It's my favorite. You guys can tell me, tweet me about how awful they are. Maybe I'll switch teams, and next week I'll come in and be like, they are awful. So we'll briefly talk about them.
So let's just talk about the child abduction. I mean, it's getting pretty bad when A is starting starting to abduct children.
That's kind of where I drew my line, too. I have to say that I was like, well, A's doing bad things to these girls, and they've hurt their boyfriends and done kind of terrible things in some ways, but abducting a child who has no involvement in this at all, like, he doesn't know that this is even a thing that happened. He doesn't know that Allison died, nothing. Seems like a terrible thing to, like, beyond terrible. I can't even, Yeah,
and the fact that, I mean, obviously he wasn't scared.
No.
But why did the karate teacher not check ID? I mean, you're just giving some kid away to not the person that was going to pick him up, but her friend.
Also, my bigger question is, when you go to pick up the child, Aria, and she's like, someone already picked him up, named Aria. Wouldn't that be the moment to be like, I'm Aria?
What did you do? Exactly. Don't take...
No, I was just like, I'm so traumatized.
I was very upset by that. But, she's a kid. But the thing is she knows how dangerous A is. So to have the child out there without getting the police involved or anything, that's a big risk to take.
It's a big risk.
Even though the police in their area, Officer Wilden included, would probably make things worse. Yeah. So I kind of get why she was hesitant to do that, but I mean, this is a child's life. So you have to be careful with that.
Also, I hope that she wasn't, this is what I kept thinking, was that she already hurt the child and she didn't want to have to call Ezra and Maggie and say, like, I lost your child. Like, that's even worse.
It could have partly been that.
But it was interesting by the end of the episode, her reaction to losing him, and then she found him at the carnival.
At the puppet show, that creepy puppet show.
The creepy puppet show with the red coat.
But another thing, too, is I hope that when they came to pick him up, they weren't wearing the black hoodie and gloves.
I know.
As they were at the carnival. And who would let anybody go with somebody, and let a child go with anybody just like that?
Also, I was just like, wouldn't you be scared? He seemed perfectly content and like, oh, your friend Allison picked me up. And did not seem at all affected by it. But I would be, as a little kid, traumatized. And I was just like, why are you not traumatized? I had so many questions about the storylines.
He went to the circus. He was fine. He doesn't care. Take me to the circus, buy me ice cream. I don't care who you are. Kids are like that, though.
It's true. I think I was probably just a fraidy cat kid, apparently. It's good to know.
Yeah, especially boys. They don't care. He wants to go play. He had the best day ever.
Yeah, and that's what Ezra says, is that he had like the best day and he's not going to want to be with anybody else but you. And Aria holds her tongue and doesn't tell him that this whole thing went down. And I mean, who could blame her? At least she got the child back and
he's safe and sound. Does anybody really need to know? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I think honesty is the best policy, but I understand where she's coming from.
Right. And this also makes her not want to be in this relationship anymore, because it's not just the two of them, and now she has to worry about something happening, not only to him, but now his family. And that's a lot of pressure to put on her, aside from the pressure of just being in the relationship anyway.
I couldn't agree more. I thought it was actually, I know, I'm a fan of this couple, very sad to see her do that, because she was giving up on her own happiness to maintain the safety of his family.
At this point, the way that their relationship has evolved, I don't think it's a good one for her anyway. I think it's time that they kind of take a little bit of a break, and he needs to go be a dad. She needs to figure out what's going on with her friends and her situation and kind of get it together on that end. And I don't think that these extra distractions are going to be good for them.
I think we talked about it last week, that their age gap seems bigger than ever now.
Exactly.
It really is.
Well, especially with her parents being involved now and all of these. I mean, he can't get a job on his own. Now it's just getting too weird.
Yeah, and she's lying, and to protect him, it's getting to be an odd situation.
Okay. Oh, well, it looks like we have a caller calling in tonight.
Hey.
Hi. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? Are you a Pretty Little Liars fan?
Oh, definitely. I've been trying to call you for the last couple weeks. Me and my girlfriend are big fans of the show.
Oh, great. Oh, great. What's your name?
My name is Marcus.
Marcus, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Minnesota.
Oh, awesome. So what did you think about tonight's show? Were you like me? Did you figure Spencer was going to be on the A-team?
Whoa. Spoiler alert, let me tell you. Funny thing, I actually haven't watched the show yet tonight. because I'm waiting on my girlfriend to come home.
Oh, no.
Is it a good show?
No, it is a great show tonight.
Yeah, there's so many secrets that are revealed. It's awesome.
Many things happening. She's still in Radley and all of that. So make sure to watch it, and then you'll have to go to iTunes and leave us a comment and tell us what you think.
I will do, and I'll call you next week.
Yes,
what
please
time
do that.
Start?
We start.
Are you West Coast?
We're West Coast, so we start at 7 o'clock our time.
7 o'clock? I'll give you a call next week.
Okay, thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, it's fun to talk to you.
Bye. All right, so, and now we've got Emily and this body.
Yes.
So Emily finds out from her mom, as we said before, that they found another body. They found it in the shallow grave, right where Spencer said it was, and when we cut at the end of the episode, we see the tattoo. Right now, that's the only identifying mark on this body to make us believe that it's Toby. Do you think that it's Toby?
I lean towards yes, just because how many people have a tattoo right there. Mm-hmm. But with the A-team...
They could have tattooed someone.
So I guess I don't know. Mm-hmm. I want to believe something that we're seeing is true.
Right.
And so I say yes, but I'm not sure. What about you?
I don't know. I mean, we did have the hashtag Toby is dead.
True.
So I don't know. I'm wondering about that.
Hashtags are like Wikipedia. Can we really
I don't know. It said Toby is A, and he was.
It's true.
No, I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe they haven't been hiding, and this was kind of a plan all along to kind of shake up Spencer. It could be just as deep as that. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I don't know if I'm 100% convinced that he's dead. I mean, we'll see. We'll see as the show develops, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot more going on, and we really have to pay attention to all these little details and all these little things that we're seeing.
I feel like every season it escalates even further. That there's all these little things to pick up on, and the fans are so good at it.
Oh, and what's the deal with Shana? Shana's texting Emily.
Yeah.
Shana's in. You know, she's got something going on with Paige. You know,
Well, Paige and her have this weird history. I don't even know what you would... Yeah, and so I don't know why she's texting. That was just like a weird thrown in fact for tonight.
Yeah, so there's something that has to be coming up with that. That's leading up to something. But it looks like I think we have another caller. Hi.
Yeah, hi. My name is Amalis.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New York, Brooklyn.
Oh, well, hi. Did you watch the show tonight?
Yeah, I loved it. I had a few suggestions towards the whole, like, oh God, I forgot.
What, the Spencer Mona thing?
I loved the whole thing with Spencer, like how she faked with Elam, and you know, and I feel like we can't really trust Elam, and I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I thought Eddie was a good guy, but he is the one that gave her the puzzle, the map, Mona's map. He knows a lot of things that he's sharing with her, so maybe he wants to help her find the truth because he thinks Wren is such a bad guy. So I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence with him. What do you think about her being part of the A-team? Do you think she really is, or do you think she's faking it?
I don't know, because I really love Spencer, like this whole season, and for her to just snap like that and actually be like Mona, like to the extreme. I don't know. I really hope at the end of the day she is helping her friends, but I don't know.
I know. I mean, we do too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Maybe she is just trying to infiltrate on the inside and get more answers for them. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching and calling in. And make sure to go to YouTube and iTunes and leave a comment for next week and stuff, because we definitely appreciate your guys' thoughts. Thank you. Bye. Oh my gosh, good stuff. I love it when we get other people's
I know.
theories. See, she thinks that Eddie's a bad guy. I mean, maybe he is. I don't know. I didn't get that right off the bat, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm just not sure that there's like a good and a bad guy in that situation. I feel like they're both kind of there's good and bads to
Well, maybe
them.
they think that they're doing good when they're really doing bad, and it could be kind of they don't know any better, maybe.
What I
and
feel
then the
like,
manipulation.
Yeah, I feel like that's what Wren is kind of going through, is that he thinks he's helping these girls, but in actuality, he's making it so much worse for them.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But there's tons and tons of stuff going on. I mean, we've got to figure out what Shana has to do with this stuff. All of these kind of visions of seeing Allie, could that be leading up to the introduction of a twin, maybe? I mean, there's a lot of things going on.
And also, someone tweeted me just a random theory that maybe one of the parents is on the A-team.
I mean, I would hope not, but you know,
you never know. Craziness.
We got another theory too, that when Spencer found the body that night, she went looking for, when Emily went looking for Toby and she met that guy that worked with him, that's supposed to be Toby's brother. Somebody thought?
Interesting.
I have to go back and double check that, but they were showing me something that could possibly be Toby's brother, so this could be someone else. And he kind of looks like that Eddie guy, so what if those two are related and this is a whole other thing?
I mean,
I don't know. I could be making stuff up.
I mean, I feel like that would be like the B team.
I don't know.
We need to like start getting levels in here, because when you get more than about 4 people, it's going to get too confusing.
Too many things. I don't know. It's making me crazy. I love the episode tonight. I can't wait to see what happens next. I don't know. Let's get into some predictions and see what we think. I want to hear what you have to say.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, tell me.
Ooh, okay. So Spencer, I want to believe, so I'm going to go with what I want versus what I actually think. It's what I think. Whatever. I think that Spencer is doing it for the right reason. She may be on the A-team. I don't think she's hallucinating it. I think she is on the A-team, but she's on it for a certain amount of time to get information. I think her bottom line right now, even though she's going through these crazy things where she's imagining Allison and all of this, is that she truly wants to help her friends. That's what I want to believe. And in terms of Ezra and Aria, I have to do one prediction about them because clearly that's my thing. I think that Ezra's going to fight for her. He's going to realize that something else is going on. As they mentioned in the episode, he's aware of this A-team situation, and he's going to fight and figure out why she's walking out the door with virtually no explanation.
Right. Well, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I think Hanna and Caleb are in for a little bit of a rocky ride, and I really hope that he can forgive her, because she did have his best interest, and she was kind of fighting with that and didn't want to believe that that his dad was a thief, and now finding out that she was wrong, I mean, she feels horrible. So hopefully that'll come to light, and maybe Officer Wilden will leave them alone and her mom can come back and they don't have to move to New York and run away.
I hope not. That would be a sad breaking up even further of all these friendships.
I know. I don't know, but I can't wait to see what happens with Spencer. We saw from the preview, she comes back, she goes back to school, and they figure out that she's on the outs and she's on the other team. So we'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to all the callers for calling in. We definitely love to get your input. And we will see you guys here next week. So make sure to follow us at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter. And you can follow me at Kellie with an IE 079.
And you can follow me at Stephanie Wenger. Season finale next week.
We'll see you guys then.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.